I'm Chuck Frederick, owner slash administrator of Helping Hands Residential Care Home. Today we'll be discussing how to support families of residents with dementia in assisted living. If you have someone that has dementia, or if you're owner of a facility with dementia residents, these tips and stories can assist you on how to support your families and loved ones. So make sure you check this out. So we'll be covering communications, handling emotion, and how they can stay involved with mom and dad without feeling overwhelmed. So one of the first things you will have to deal with is when you first meet the resident or the family, depending on the severity of the dementia, it can be a roller coaster. They're moving into a new setting. The family is feeling a little guilt about moving mom into a facility or a nursing home and allowing someone else to take care of them. So that in itself will be a lot during that transitional period. More than anything, they may feel like they're losing mom or dad. They can't recognize them anymore. Their memory may not be the best. They start to develop their own fantasy or reality, for a better term. The most important thing is just trying to encourage families to be patient, understanding that they have to be able to take care of themselves first. You can't take care of mom and dad if you're not able to care for yourself. And just having the patience because they think about the strong version of mom and then mom and dad that raised them. And now they're at a different chapter in their life. So they hold them at a higher standard than you or I may because that's my mom and dad. That's my superwoman. That's my superman. So to see this version of them, they're going through a lot emotionally as well, just trying to connect and trying to see mom in the new vision of who they are. So, I mean, the easiest way that I think they'll be able to connect and communicate during the time that they come and see mom and dad is just being able to allow them to speak whatever reality, whatever story they have that day, whether it be true or not. Try not to correct them so much. In the past, I've had residents. We went to church earlier today, and Bob, for lack of a better term, Bob took the girls out to the movies, and they had a good time. They said they had ice cream sandwiches, whatever story they're making up, just allowing them to share that feeling. It's a good feeling. They're sharing a story. They feel good about it. So, not correcting them, and you want to, hey, how was it? What movie did they go watch? You want to go along with it per se. You don't want to make them feel bad or because they're in their mind this really happened that day. So you want to support them. For me, I have a resident that whenever I go into the facility, she comes to me. She has stories. She has things that she want to talk about. She may bring me a box or something and say, hey, I've been waiting for you to get here. I need you to put this away for me. I didn't know. I want to make sure my grandchildren get it. And it may not be anything in the box at all. But she receives a huge sigh of relief just for me saying, no problem, I'll take it and put it up to make sure I hold on to it so they get it. You want to make sure that they can see the empathy in your eyes and understand that you're there to support them. And from there, everything is fine. But that's something I have to do every time or every other time I go to the facility to be able to help her deal with her frustrations. I try to stay in communication with the family members and try to see when they're going to be in because daughter may have came in on Monday and then by Thursday, mom is saying, I haven't seen her in 2 weeks. She just left me here. She doesn't care about me. No one cares about me. So I may have to do a FaceTime call or dial mom or I'm sorry, send her daughter a text and say, hey, mom's a little upset. Can I give you a call? And most times, once they have that conversation, she's good. She can say, hey, mom, I came to see you Monday. I'll be there on Saturday. Something like that. And even if you're able to come in 5 to 10 minutes or have a 5 to 10 minute conversation, that can kind of, get them back relieved and help them out a bit. I used to have a whiteboard where I would just share things about doctor's appointments or the last time mom came or the last time a daughter came, just so they can see, oh yeah, she did come, even if they don't remember. But it's just a reflection point for them to know that that happened or they have someone coming to see them in a day or two. So just little cues to keep them present and let them know what's going on around them. One of the biggest things that I notice is just sometimes the rate of decline for a dementia resident. It can be rapid, it can be emotional, it can be cognitively, and it could have changed in the course of 2 weeks or a week. So if sometimes the families get caught up in life, and then they're able to make time to come by and see mom, and they notice, hey, mom isn't the same, or mom is telling stories about, and not a story as in the lie, the actual story, like, hey, I haven't bathed in 2 weeks, or we haven't eaten anything. They just keep giving us the same thing every day. So sometimes the stories may not be true in a sense, or they can be stretched, where she may say, we haven't bathed in almost a week. Where if we bathed on, I'm sorry, I said bathed. If we showered on Friday and then they don't shower again till Monday, that's 2 or 3 days, and she feels like that's a week. So she tell her daughter it's almost been a week, but we don't shower on the weekend. So things like that. And naturally, family members are going to come to mom and dad's defense, like, hey, what's going on? Mom said she hasn't eaten in a couple days. Mom says she hasn't showered. So just being able to check in with them weekly, if even if they aren't able to make it in, say, hey, notice this about mom. Hey, mom is doing well. Everything's good. Just giving them a line of communication and just making a communication trail. So you're able to go back to those texts or emails, however you communicate in your facility, and say, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. I talked to you on this day, just so everyone's on the same page about what's going on and what's the expectation from mom and dad. So that's just something I felt like I want to speak about. Something I noticed over the last few weeks with some of my residents, and I thought it would be something good to share, just from the time they're admitted, the frustrations the families deal with, and then seeing mom transition, whether she's declining or she's starting to share stories about, and mom, the son or daughter may know they may not be true, but they have to listen to those stories and connect with mom and dad any way that they can. That way they can keep the relationship good, and try not to call them a liar or tell them that didn't happen. Just being present in that moment and sharing that moment with mom and dad. And the biggest thing is when they're on the back end and they have the highest level of dementia, when they almost start to not recognize their children anymore. Like, who are you? What are you guys doing here? You can get to that level. So at that point, you want to try to connect through memories, whether it be music, whether it be foods that they like, whether it be some photos, absolutely photos. Those help a lot. Just capture memories, and just like certain smells, you can have a smell that can bring back a memory. So things that are favorite scents, anything that you know that mom and dad may be able to connect to, you can use those things to kind of, keep that connection alive and keep that bond alive and share those good times with mom and dad. So that's my 10 cent. If you stayed this long, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you reach out to me on DGT Chuck on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. If you have any questions or concerns, I'm open. I do one consultation for free. If you want to have a conversation and see where you are, if you're close, how far away you are, we can create a timeline and set some goals for you to work towards opening a facility or being an administrator. So that's the conversation I have as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Chuck Frederick, owner / administrator of Helping Hands Residential Care Home. Till next time.